folks, and welcome to another natter, and this one we're doing on a Sunday.
Super.
Yes, and we're going to be talking about the things that we are embracing in our 40s. I got the idea because it's this bit of a trend on YouTube, the things I gave up in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and we were going to do what I gave up. But then this morning I thought, actually I want to change it a bit and talk about what we're going to be embracing, what we're currently embracing and what we hope to embrace in the future.
Interesting.
So I've added a little bit more on there to it as well.
Yeah.
Because I think when you say, I gave up this, are you going to give that up forever? Or is it just a temporary thing? Like sometimes you may want to temporarily step away from sugar or caffeine or alcohol, but you may not always want to step away from it. There may come a time where you fancy a coffee like I do this afternoon. We've just been having that discussion. You see what I mean? So you put pressure on yourself. So, what are we embracing more of in our 40s? Doing things at a much more slow, steady pace.
Yeah, definitely.
So, smaller house, less stress, less
Cleaning,
less maintenance. We're also embracing more countrified life rather than city life.
Yeah.
But again, you know, never say never. And we're enjoying it, aren't we?
We are, yeah, it's lovely and peaceful. Although the last few nights, bonfire night, it's been quite... well, no, I won't call it what it used to be like in Leeds, but it was more than I ever expected.
First couple of years living here, we didn't get any fireworks at all, did we?
No.
At all. We may have got a little from a local firework display, but that was it, from like a pub or something. But that was it. At community centre. But yeah, past couple, it's like we say, nothing compared to Leeds, where it was like every night, every day, all the time.
For about 3 weeks before and 3 weeks after.
Yeah, horrific as well. Embracing a different way of working. So obviously I've stepped away from the rat race and I'm embracing self-employment, and I'm continuously changing that as well. Like changing my hours. I used to start seeing clients at sometimes, depending on where they were in the world and what was what, I would start seeing clients at 8, half 8 in the morning sometimes, not all the time. But my main time of starting was 9 o'clock client sessions. Whereas recently I've changed it to I don't start seeing clients now until 10 a.m. because I just think that first 2 or 3 hours of a day really needs to be observed and slow, steady starts the day, especially when you're going through like perimenopause, menopause, or like pregnancy, stuff like that, where it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
Where you've got to be up, off. You've got to shove something down your throat. You've got to shove yourself into. They said shut yourself in. Shove yourself into transport, public transport, driving through traffic, and I've changed it now, and I feel I actually like that, and I think it's a good thing about living your life around the decade that you're in.
Yeah, it's the same with me, because obviously when I changed job and we moved to Lincoln, I used to get up. I literally used to get up and get off, didn't I? Because I was a contractor, and I literally just got up, did all my ablutions, and then I was out the door. You know what I mean? I was up and gone in 15 minutes, wasn't I? I got dressed, and I was gone. Nowadays, I just wake up with Claire and sit on my phone for a bit, read whatever I feel like doing, and just relaxing. Then I have my breakfast, and then start work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But so yeah, it's this slower pace of life has really helped. And now dropping 2 days, not so much of a slow pace. I'm still doing work for Claire, but it's a different kind of work.
It's still more slower pace than you would have if you'd been working in other places.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's been good, and we're definitely embracing it, aren't we? Really enjoying it.
When I worked at my previous place and we lived at Morley, I would get up for the bus at 6:15 every morning, and I'd be on the bus. I'd be at the bus stop for 6:15. And that, I look at now and I just think that is crazy.
People do it every day, though.
But I did it every day, because I went to work at 16.
So it's not totally crazy, but it
is crazy when you look back and you think the toll that has on your physical and mental and emotional spiritual health. You know, we've been talking about this the past couple of days, of the effect that the job can have on your health.
But it's starting to go back to that because more and more employers are asking people to go back to the office at the moment, especially in the UK. I don't know what it's like around the rest of the world, but in the UK, more and more employers are now saying, we want you back in the office. We're paying for this office. You get back here.
Well, when I was with my parents in Leeds, we went to Crown Point shopping in Leeds, and we were driving through all these old office places. Well, not old office, but like factories that had been turned into office places. And you could see the rows of desks and computers that were all switched off, all empty, or you'd get one person in there. And it's like, the thing is, I think working from home, it works for some, but it doesn't work for some.
No,
some people need to be in the workplace.
Some people thrive on it as well. They thrive from having people round them. And you know, having a laugh, and you know, some people need it as well because they've got nothing. They haven't got much of a home life. You know what I mean? And they enjoy the camaraderie at work. So it is horses for courses. Yeah,
because if you get into a place where you can fit in somewhere, your work can be a lifeline. And you know, we can judge that to some extent, but then no, because like you said, it's.
I think it's when you're on different stages of your life, you might find it. Well, we've reached that stage in our 40s where we don't need that running around and commuting and office parties and you know what I mean, office banter and all that kind of stuff. We're quite happy just to get on with his day, get it done, and have a nice relaxing evening with a book. But,
whereas Claire in her 20s loved all that, right in the middle of it.
And most people are.
I loved it, and you know, it was a great. It was growth as well. Whereas now, like, I'm looking forward to our Christmas party that we're going to be doing. But if you put me in it's going to be in institutions. But anyway, I thank you for it. The ones that I used to do in the past.
We'll see what it's like.
Might be a trip down memory lane, but with different players on the chessboard.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we won't talk about on this who's going to be there and who isn't going to be there. Because it's a few different departments.
Yeah.
Public and private sector. Not public and civil.
So what are we embracing more of? I'm embracing my grey hair more in my 40s. You see, if I'd have said I've stopped dyeing my hair, there could come a time where I actually want to dye it again. My nieces the other day had an app, I don't know what it was on their phone, but they're into their apps, and they took a picture of me and they actually turned my hair this not black platinum blonde, but like a darky blonde, and it looked really nice. Really nice. And I was like a darky golden blonde, a little bit like the tips have. The red's now gone, but it's left like a golden tint. And I was like, who knows? So yeah, at the minute I'm embracing my greys, and I'm actually enjoying embracing my greys.
Yeah, I'm embracing my sports casual.
Yeah, you are embracing your sports casual.
Yeah, I'm not wearing jeans anymore. I'm not Jeremy Clarkson. Yeah. I'm not a stonewashed jean man. I don't find them comfy.
I've never really wore jeans in my 20s now and again, but
trousers. I've started wearing trousers that are a bit more flexible, and mostly jogger bottoms because I just find it comfy. Well, why not be comfy? You know what I mean? You got to be what they say, comfy in your own skin. Why not be comfy in your clothes?
I've worn leggings now for a lot of years, leggings, tops, jumpers, and you know when people go out and they have to come in and get into the comfies, I've never needed to do that because it's always a comfy jumper, a comfy summer top, or comfy summer dress. Very rarely dress, but yeah. And then leggings. Never needed to I need to take this skirt off because it's too fitted. Never. Oh no, unless you go on a night out, but even then they're always comfortable.
Well, I've always been different. I've always worn jeans or trousers or stuff with belts, and you just can't be comfy. You can't proper slobber in that kind of clobber.
Slobber in that clobber.
You can't slobber in that clobber. But yeah, I embrace it, sod it. People judge me, think I'm a scally.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm not bothered.
Embracing differences of opinion as well for me, because I could, in the past, be quite tunnel visioned, I think. And I'm like what?
No, not saying a word.
What are you on about? Could I not?
Hey?
What? I not?
What? No, I'm agreeing with you.
When you're younger, well, I mean, we could actually share an example here, but we're not gonna because it'll be triggering. You know when I first met you and you were talking about a certain thing?
Right.
And I said, carry on talking like that. And
Yeah. What is that about my ex or the royal family?
how things have changed.
RF.
Yeah, RF. You see, you could have done the comment section on that old channel. RF, Royal Family.
What?
PC, Princess Catherine.
Don't understand.
You know when you once looked at my comments because you were going to take over the comments and you were like, and it was full of initials because people had put like PC, Princess Catherine, PW, Prince William.
I hate acronyms.
Oh, and you were like, and we just got to a point where he said, I actually don't know what I'm saying yes and no to here, so you couldn't do it, could you?
No. Hate acronyms. Got too many at work.
But
I'm
yeah.
always calling them out at work for talking in bloody initials. Stop talking in initials. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But yes, I used to be obsessed over that. Really mega fan, obsessed, tunnel vision. And now I'm totally different, aren't I? Totally different. So I'm and I think when you embrace differences of opinion, well, like even like the political stuff, it's like I'm finding some interest in observing all the different reactions to the local result, the recent result. Because I can see what I would have been like. I mean, there's still tendencies within me that crop up now and again. But, yeah.
Now and again.
You sure?
We can all be like that though,
I
can't
know,
we?
but it's good to also to have some... It's good also to have some kind of an opinion and not just be totally like, I'm not really bothered. But to have a really good opinion, but to also be able to... And I would like to get better at it.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I don't know what this looks about.
I don't know what this looks about either.
So I'm working on that.
Okay. We'll try this video again when we're in his 50s. See where we're at.
Yeah, we will do it again in the 60s as well, 70s. What are we embracing? What else are we embracing?
Diet.
Yeah, different diet. Again, it's like the last comment we've just had, it's peaks and troughs. But compared to where we were a few years back.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard cutting out the gluten and cutting out the dairy. It's been very difficult, but I've tried to look on the bright side for it because I'm feeling better. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better in myself. And so that's the bright side. The dark side is it can be hard to eat out, and you know people cater for you and things. It's really difficult, and you feel like a leper. You feel like an outsider. You don't feel like you're a normal person. So it is quite hard, but I'm trying to embrace that difference. And it's like we went to family recently, didn't we? And we took our own food, and it's like sod it. We won't risk or we won't rely on people to get it.
Because I was actually I was on a Facebook group for gluten intolerances, and somebody had asked and said, I'm going to my first party with this gluten free and I don't know what to do, and so many people said we take our own food to parties and buffets and weddings, and it was like, because they don't trust people. And actually, to be quite honest, it can be a mind blow. You'd be surprised the amount of people that don't realise that dairy's in chocolate, for example.
No.
That is actually quite whoa. In there, and they don't get what we eat. I do, you know, we can all be like that. But I was like, take your own food. But actually, I think it is a way forward.
It's got to be, because you know you are the minority at the minute, and you can't expect people to cater massively for you. I mean, I was on a course this week and I told them about my dietary requirements, and I got there and there was a massive buffet for everybody else, massive buffet, and I got one plate of food, one small plate of food. I was hungry. And you're looking at everybody else with their plates piled high with food, and I had a small plate of food, and it was just like the savoury stuff. So I went to where they had desserts, and I couldn't eat any of the desserts. And it's like, oh, okay, so I've just got this. I mean, you've catered for me. It's very nice, but it wasn't great. And it was the same at breakfast the next morning. It's like they took breakfast order, and I says, do you want a full English breakfast? I says, I do, but I'm gluten and dairy free. What can I have? Oh, well, you can't have a sausage. You can't have the hash brown. You can't have this. You can't have that. I ended up with beans, eggs, bacon, and mushrooms, and that's it. And again, I was hungry, and they brought me just those items from a full English breakfast. They didn't give me extra.
Crazy, isn't it? It's like people
to make up for the missing.
People can't think outside the box. That's the problem. The computer says this, and the system says this, and that's what you have. They can't think. Many people can't think for themselves.
No, and a lot of places are still dietary requirements by subtraction. So they'll just subtract the item from the meal. They won't subtract the item from the cost, but they'll subtract the item from the meal. So you get a full English breakfast with all the gluten and dairy things not there. They won't replace it with anything else. And yeah, I was a bit hungry that morning, I've got to admit. But, you know, these things you've got to embrace. And I said to Claire, I said, well, maybe I shouldn't go away again because it's just a bit ridiculous, this. But that's like the nuclear option, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be forced out of not doing stuff because people still can't do it.
But we've had this conversation, but in actual fact, it is actually quite easy to do. You know, we've made some gorgeous sandwiches and breakfast sandwiches using decent, or like make my own burgers now with just beef mince, an egg, salt and pepper. Why are these chefs in restaurants not able to do that?
I've no idea.
Why are these farm shops not able to do that? And we know that they're full of shit, like breadcrumbs and things.
Yeah, local farm shop. All the sausages, all the burgers, they're all full of gluten. It's like, what are you doing? Well, you know what they're doing. They're
bulking.
Well, the meat's expensive, so they're bulking it up with breadcrumbs. That don't breed quality to me.
No.
You know what I mean? And some of these farm shops aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
Some of these breakfasts aren't cheap. Why are they serving you sausages that are full of breadcrumbs? It's not good.
But it is doable. You can make things like Sunday dinners and all kinds of things without going down a dairy route.
I can do a full English breakfast fine. Gluten free, dairy free. Beautiful.
Well, if we can do it, they're not trained chefs, why can't? I mean, the places we've discovered so far are Brown's in Leeds. Another Leeds one. It's got a gorgeous menu. So if you want a treat, go to Brown's in Leeds. They do gluten-free afternoon tea, gluten-free lunches, gluten-free evening meal. You can get dressed up and have a nice drink as well. It's nice, isn't it nice?
It's lovely.
Nando's as well is really good for it. Doddington Hall in Lincoln is really good for it.
Apart from the farm shop.
But the restaurant is, and she, I say she because it's a she that owns it. They do gluten and dairy-free afternoon teas, which I think is again you don't get that anywhere. And it was nice as well when we had it.
They still use the products from the farm shop though, so you can't get a burger there, you can't get a sausage there because the farm, you know.
Where else? Where else?
Where else?
Indian restaurants can be as well for gluten.
Yeah.
If you stay away from your breads.
Allegedly, we don't know, but a lot of them are quite good for telling you what allergens are in the menus nowadays, especially the big chain ones. But we've been to more Indian restaurants recently than anywhere else, and they've had allergen information on the meals. Now, hopefully it's true, but we've not really had any problems.
Yeah. We went to Headingley recently and there was lots of restaurants in Headingley that had gluten-free and dairy-free options, wasn't there?
Yeah, we didn't go out in them,
but
we didn't
Pizza
try.
Express apparently does as well. So there is places out there.
There are places out there, yeah. There's a place in Lincoln, Do Loco, that's supposed to do nice pizzas. So there's places that do it, but there's a lot that don't. And it makes it very difficult. I know I went on site with a colleague and we didn't get lunch, so we had to find somewhere for lunch, and we went around 3 or 4 places and I really struggled just to get a sandwich. Just to get a sandwich.
And again, like we can make that sandwich you made for me to go on the train, simple egg mayonnaise sandwich. We found some Warburtons little bread cake things that are nice. Kettle crisps.
Marks and Spencer's do have some nice gluten-free sandwiches. I'll give them that. I had a beautiful Christmas one when I was away last week. All the Christmas trimmings in a sandwich, gluten and dairy-free. It was very nice. £4.50, but it was very nice.
God,
It's fine, I'll claim it on expenses.
That you could do somebody's for a week with that.
I know, but yeah, that's the only other thing as well. You get allergen-free stuff and you have to pay for it, which you can understand why, because of the quantities they're doing it in. They can't do it in massive bulk orders and things like that, so that it's going to be more expensive to mass produce. But it still doesn't seem fair, does it?
It's a bit strange, isn't it? What else are we?
Coffee shops as well. Some coffee shops just charge you extra for soya milk or oat milk, which I think's appalling. Oh,
another trick they'll say is, what do they say? Because I caught people out doing this in Leeds, and it was, is this to do with allergy or choice? And I was like, well, for me, with the dairy, it's choice. And I was like, choice? And they were like, okay. And what it is, if it's allergy, they have to change the whole system. Whereas if it's choice, they just wipe the nozzle and I was like, oh, and if that's happening blatantly right in front of you, what else is happening? Like you became ill at that place in Buxton. You don't know, do you?
No, you don't know. And
Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. We've just started watching that.
Yeah, the new season of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares USA, I think it is. Used to love it, and it's back. He's back. He's back. He's back, and he's walking out of kitchens left, right, and centre, and he's
raw chicken with cooked chicken, and you just think, actually, how common is this?
It does worry you, doesn't it? I'd like to think it's not, but is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me, because they say, oh yeah, well we don't do this because if it's life-threatening allergy, then we can't serve you because we have a cross-contaminated kitchen. What are you doing in that kitchen? Seriously, you can't clean a few surfaces and do something, or you know what I mean? I can understand if you only got one deep fat fryer or one grill or something like that, but some of these kitchens are huge, aren't they? And you'd think they'd be able to have an allergen-free surface somewhere, but McDonald's can't do it, can they? So if they can't do it, no.
McDonald's to start doing it. I think, yeah.
Well, they can't do it in the UK. I think they can do it everywhere else. I know they do it. I know you can get a gluten-free burger in Europe.
I was watching somebody yesterday. They went round to Poland and Czechoslovakia, and they went to what do they call it? A deluxe McDonald's. And it looked like a restaurant version of McDonald's, but I was like a bun with and it cut at the top. You know, like crazy, isn't it? Anyway, what else are we embracing in our 40s? Embracing being me as well, not trying to fake it, or embracing being me. Who else is embracing being themselves, not trying to fit in? Does that make sense?
Yes, to some degree, yeah, definitely. I don't try to be normal, as it were. What is normal? You know what I mean? We got rid of the TV licence, didn't we? We got out of the rat race of Sky TV finally. Yeah. But we still watch TV. We just watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it. Just nothing on the BBC. But
yeah, I don't believe in totally coming away from things. I think when we have this conversation, it's probably possibly a video I need to do on my other channel. It's about cultish behaviour at the minute out in the world, how it can be very easy to become part of a cult where you don't do this, you don't eat that, you don't drink this, you don't. And I can find myself doing it a lot. And I'm having to check myself at the minute. It's like the caffeine thing, you mustn't drink caffeine. An odd cup of coffee is fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or an odd glass of wine is fine. Or an odd takeaway is fine. Or whatever. It's okay to watch television. You're not going to get killed watching television unless your telly blows up in your face.
No.
Anyway. It's okay to watch a bit of news. It's okay to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's okay to... And there can be something you can learn from telly. Now, somebody I was just watching on... BookTube, and she read Paris Hilton's biography, and she was like, she went for it because she just thought it'd be cheese, and apparently Paris Hilton has had an horrific life story, and so you may think, I'm not going to read that book, 'cause it's Paris Hilton, but there was a lot of learning in that book.
Interesting.
So yeah, And I think it does us good not to go down culty. And it's same with the diet culture as well. The culty diet culture, that you don't eat this, you don't eat that, you don't... We can become so much part of culty behaviour.
Yeah.
To a point of... Even part of a workplace can be culty. If you don't do this, you don't think this. We do this here, we sit here, we do that, we say that. This is how we do things. You know...
It's like the gluten and dairy, you know, it works for us. We do it because it works for us. It don't mean everybody else has to do it. Eat bread as much as you want, it's fine. You know what I mean? Or eat with a balanced diet. But you know, I ate too much bread in my life. I know I did. So it's working for me not eating bread, to be honest with you, because I know it was easy. It was an easy thing to have. And it's worked for me not having that easy thing to have. I think outside the box of food. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. What else are we embracing in our 40s? Travelling around. Although I've embraced it a bit too much this year, I feel.
Yeah, I think we've burnt ourselves out a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think we've been trying to develop this channel a bit, and I think we've tried to put too much effort in. I think. Maybe.
I think the vlog stuff, we've had big conversations about the vlogs and what, because these big houses are actually tiring in themselves. There's a lot of energies in these big houses, a lot of history, and you know, clipping it all together and the narrative and the music, and it can end up being where you'll go somewhere you won't absorb it properly. It'll just be like slog, 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 slog. And then you're getting stressed because people are they're cramming these houses full of people. So the footage you're getting is not that good because it's just full of people, full of tours.
No, I was very disappointed in the Chatsworth footage, I've got to say. I used it because it's all I had, but some of it was quite poor quality. I did best I could with it. I super edited it as best I could. People in the way, light. It's really bad flickery, I think. I don't know, it could have been the energy in there. But it was like the camera wasn't working properly. It was very strange.
It was strange, wasn't it?
It was very strange.
Never had that in any of them.
No, it could be that my phone camera's gone, but I don't think it has. But it was a weird thing. Watch it again, see what you think. I think it comes across in the video that some of them are quite flickery. And at the first I thought it was just the difference in light, because a lot of the rooms are very dark, but then you've got quite a lot of light coming through the big windows and stained glass windows and things like that. So I just thought it was the light, but it may not have been. Who knows?
Yeah, I did say tonight it's got a bit of a... Because for all I wanted to go, I was a bit like, meh, about going there, about going to all of them, really, to be honest. But yeah, that's got particular strange history to it. Especially for women. Especially for the wives and stuff. It's I mean, especially like Georgiana. She was Spencer. It's like mistresses and three ways and all of that kind of stuff that was going on there, and torment and...
Quite glad I didn't have to get the footage for Glams, because God knows what I'd have picked up there.
I swear to God, that place wants a knocking down. Yeah, I'm putting it right up there with Jimmy Savile's house at Glencoe.
That's a bit harsh.
I know, but it was horrible, wasn't it? It was...
Remember JS.
Oh yeah, JS.
I've got to learn the acronyms.
It was just... I actually did want to go to that because I was intrigued because of the history I'd heard about it. But you have to do a tour there, and it starts off where you go into this dungeon, and I was like, what do I do? Because you could just feel... It was just not a nice place. It just crawled on you, didn't it? Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that, because it was just, there was...
Yeah. If it was that wall picking up at Chatsworth, then God knows what Glams would have been like.
Yeah. It was a weird old place. That we've said this before about the tour guide that said there's a little boy in that corner that upsets
Scaring the
children,
kids, yeah.
and really upset. And then that actually in itself upset all the children. The children went a bit strange, didn't they?
It quieted them down though.
Yeah, to be quick, because a few of them, like
I wish you'd have said it right at the beginning of the tour. To be honest with you,
like we've said before, that some of the stuff that we're seeing in these big houses with kids is unreal. Like, I mean, Britannia, where that kid crawled and climbed on top of the cupboards. Oh my God.
Play Jim.
Next little in Queen's bedroom, anyway.
Jumping on a bed.
Yeah. So what else are we embracing?
What else are we embracing? I don't know. I'm embracing doing video editing. I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
I've got some nice graphics done for the Christmas for Vlogmas. Hopefully you'll enjoy it when the first Vlogmas video comes out in a few weeks' time. Do other things. I've done your Taroscopes.
Yeah.
So I've done your Taroscopes, and I've done a Christmas Taroscopes one.
Christmas Taroscopes.
That's good as well. So pleased with that.
Yeah, it is good actually. So yeah, with all that, embracing not having children actually. That's what I'm doing. Well, you're doing it as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Embracing the peace and quiet, and actually, because the thing is, when you don't have children, you think you're going to have children, you can go down quite a dark avenue, and I don't think that just wasn't working. That.
No, you can't do it, because you'd end up being depressed for your whole life and going, why me, why me, why me? Yeah. And we've got to embrace our life as it is without children.
And I think one of the things I said was, right, okay, if we're not going to have children, what? If you were somebody with children that just craves something, it's going to be like peace and quiet, freedom, being able to read your book and spend all day reading your book, being able to go out and do a vlog undisturbed, knowing that you've not got teenagers out there and worrying about, kidnap, all kinds of stuff. Boyfriends, girlfriends, bullying, schools, the system.
The after curricular activities, football, the band practice.
A lot of parents are on the brink at the minute because they just push themselves way too much compared to previous parents. It's some of the stories I hear, it's like, when do you get to breathe?
Yeah, they don't, do they?
And it's
constant, keep kids going. And
you can see it outside. Very few children can just sit and be quiet. They can see it in restaurants and like really wired. Or like big houses where they just can't. You can get some that are like, you can get some kids that can do it. But very few I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think overstimulus nowadays, isn't it? They've got phones and tablets constantly glued to their hands.
Yeah. I think play gyms in restaurants as well, where they can't really focus on that meal. They're off and they're back and they're off and they're back and it's all that energy within that restaurant.
Kids just can't learn to sit there for an hour or two and not, you know what I mean, and behave and be adult-esque. And I said, I know the kids at the end of the day, they're going to have meltdowns, but what?
You sound right strict.
I am strict.
You are to have said this, actually. We've said that you would have been the strict one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd
have had to be. Glass too soft.
Yeah. So you're embracing not having children, so filling your life full of stuff that you possibly couldn't have done. Oh, because I was watching somebody on YouTube the other day, and she said that now people are talking about empty nest syndrome, where a lot of women are actually having breakdowns and because their kids have gone and they have no job, they have no hobbies, they have no interests. Everything has just been about the kids. They're going into menopause, so there's also illness and all of this kind of stuff that comes up when you're in your 50s, 60s.
Could be almost worst point in your life to have that something taken away from you when you're hitting those kind of things, menopause and things like that. To have something else taken from you, you can imagine how people have these big breakdowns and have big life changes and things, and you have seen marriage breakups and things because.
It's a good, interesting point, is that? Because you think about women that are losing their womb, because some people, especially when they've had them, the whole having a hysterectomy, even someone that's like, Paris Fiore, not Hilton, that's had a lot of children, it can flip them out. Even though you think we've had about 10 children, why are you getting... It can, taking away that possibility can really be... And then add that into the fact that those children are leaving, that you're not the most important person in their life, it can be...
Difficult, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Imagine why a lot of people out there that they do need help and guidance and the struggle.
And because like the modern day parenting where your child is really busy on the go, your diary's full. It's like, I remember when I used to work in my old place and I'd break up for holidays, was towards the end, I actually found it really difficult to chill out because I was so used to going on to adrenaline due to the environment that by the time I got to a stage where it was time to go back, and I think it's the same thing, you're so used to babies, toddlers, children, teenagers, universities, jobs, you're so used to being in that for it to go, it's like...
The thing is, nowadays, it's like, it goes from that and then suddenly it's grandkids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of parents end up being parents for a second time because they're almost looking after the grandkids constantly as well, because working patterns have changed again. And the younger generation, they're both working constantly because they've got to make ends meet, because society says we've all got to have iPhones and Sky TV and big flat panel tellies and holidays twice a year, and
and that can be a complex thing, I think, as well for people that are grandparents, because you'll get some that actually want to be that full-on hands-on grandparent that embrace it, which is great. But you also get grandparents that just want to be grandparents, like the old-fashioned grandparent where they see them once a week or once a month or whatever, and they get to just do grandparenting things without having to bring them up. And then you can be judged for that because your parents aren't spending enough time with my kids. My mum and dad do all this looking after, whereas you may have had your life and naturally not want to start going down that route again.
Oh yeah, you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got the hat, got the bag, got the mug.
With a little grandchild and doing a teroscope. So hold that card up to the screen.
And it is that point where grandparents should be grandparents. They shouldn't be parents again, I don't think. They should be grandparents. They should be able to have fun with the grandchildren rather than be a bit stricter, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they have done it all already. And, they've got... The grandchildren should be there for them to enjoy and be silly with. You know what I mean? It's not their job to bring them up. But, unfortunately, the world we live in nowadays, it's turning that way again, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah, interesting. So, what else are we embracing?
Don't know.
Embracing these natters again.
Are we embracing the natters again?
I think we've covered the main points. Yeah. Embracing change as well, embracing perimenopause. Embracing it, even though it's not perfect, but it's...
Yeah.
Embrace. And I think embracing getting older, because we live in a matrix that makes you think that you've got to be young, super slim, super flawless, things injected in your face to make you take your lines off, etc. Whereas actually, I think getting older, going into your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, so many people are actually rebirthing. There are so many men and women that are setting up businesses, changing jobs, doing so many amazing things during getting older. And I think actually, rather than I'm turning into 40, everything's downhill fast, I actually think it's a great place to be, because you look back to when you were in your 20s, teenage years where you didn't know much, whereas now you're one of the people sat at the table that's got a little bit more life experience under your belt. You
should be able to use that life experience and enjoy your life in that, using it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go on more civilised holidays and doing more civilised stuff than you might not have done when you were younger, when you didn't really understand.
Like talking about civilised holidays, we've said about going on a cruise next year, and usually we would follow not the cruise rules, but what you do on a cruise. And what we've said this time, because I can get overwhelmed on a cruise quite easily, with tours and sitting in coaches with lots of people and just the energy of that. Whereas we've said this time, if there's something you want to do, you'll go do it. If there's something I want to do, I'll go do it. If there's a big tour that starts at 4 o'clock in the morning that you want to do, you'll do it. Whereas I actually will not be doing that.
No.
Not a chance. I would spend that day going to the spa or going to the gym and not feel guilty over it. So I'm going to be embracing that as well.
Yeah, you've got to do what you've got to do on this next one, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's putting too much pressure on each other to do what each other wants to do. You've got to enjoy your own holiday, I think, as well. And I think the one we've picked would give us that, because we've been to a few other places before, so we can use them as sea days. Some of the places, so we don't have to get off. And the ones that really come up that we want to do, we can do or not do, depending on how you feel.
Yeah, so I think because we don't realise how much pressure we put on ourselves to show up all the time. There's a lot of things online about showing up, and I believe in showing up. But sometimes showing up can actually be the most important part of showing up. Can be showing up for yourself as well. You know, say if you come up to silly season, Christmas. Say if you just really can't do silly season, then why not have a smaller Christmas? But you're not showing up for Christmas. But some people actually can't handle it.
No.
You know, some people actually can't cook a Christmas dinner. Then do something else.
Yeah, cook what you can cook.
Yeah. Showing up for yourself and your own needs is more important than showing up for what the Matrix tells you to do.
Definitely. Yeah.
So to go into silly season with that, embracing Stephen King at the minute.
Embracing Stephen King at the minute.
So it took me about 2 weeks to read this book. The font's really small, there's a page after page after page after page after page. But I was ill for some of it, so there was about 2 or 3 days where I did not read. But yeah, embracing new authors, embracing new genres.
Yeah, I'm not embracing new genres, but I'm embracing new authors.
Yeah, you stick to the same genre, don't you?
I tend to.
But I go all over the place, mate. I can be reading cheesy Christmas books in a few weeks, but now I'm reading like 8. Of even biographies, crime.
Yeah, action adventure. I think.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what his name is. I think it's Stephen Taylor or Tyler, one of the two. I can't remember which. They're on Amazon Unlimited. I've got it for a month because there's one book I wanted to read, a new one, and I thought, well, rather than pay £5 for it, I might as well pay £10 and I'll be able to read 12 books rather than just one book. So I found another author who's very similar to the other one that I wanted to read. Yeah. So yeah, very Jack Reachery, Ben Hopey books.
But again, reading should be about what you want to read.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation on my booktube channel where there's a lot of people having reading slumps, and that can be illness, stress, tiredness, life, but it can also be where you're, especially now because book reading is such an online thing, we can, like I've just been watching a booktube and I was taking a list of wishlist books, but I could come to those books and think, what have I done? Sometimes we can feel pressured to read books that are just not for us because everybody's reading them. And actually, I've just been into works, haven't we? And I enjoyed actually going in there and getting books I actually know I'll enjoy because I know they're at the level that I like to read it.
Me too.
I can't go too complex. I mean, Stephen King is just okay for me. If he got too wordy, I mean, I've had books that are just like I actually don't know what I'm reading because it's gone too wordy.
Yeah.
And too, but some people love them.
Depends what you want, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These ones are quite simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
Full of
That's
action.
what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I want. I just want a bit of, I can read this book in a day.
Yeah, well, those Freedom at Fadden that I've just got from works, they're the same. And those Christmas books will be the same.
Yeah, you smash them out and get them done.
Smash them out, get them done.
I'm on 6th one now, out of 11. Hopefully get all 11 done in the month. That's the aim. So I don't have to pay for another month. So
I think this is just for the iceberg, and I'm sure there's more stuff that we'll talk about because if you've been watching our vlogs for a while, you know that they go on tangents. So we'll be covering more of this in the future. And I think the best thing we can say really is just be yourself. Do you. You know, show up for you and your needs as a person. And whatever you like, you like. If you like your good nights out, embrace them. If you like peace and quiet, embrace it.
Yeah, tangents.
Yeah.
QM with JS.
QM. What would that be?
Queen Mother.
Well, we've never had to deal with that QM with JS.
Yeah. Clams. You said clams is very simple.
Oh yeah, you see
I've
what
got to explain these things. So I've just got to put it on the video anyway. Why didn't I just say it in the first place?
I know.
I was trying. I was trying to use it.
You see, it's a while since I've been down. I've had to deal with all those initials.
I was trying to use the initials, and then I just ended up explaining it anyway.
Oh, POW, is that Princess of Wales or Prince of Wales or Prince? No, it's not Prince William, is it? It used to get quite. I remember when I was planning our wedding, and I went on a lot of wedding stuff online, and it was MIL, mother-in-law, away each other half, and I was like, MIL, away each. And it's like, oh my god, you know, MOB, mum of the bride, and it's like, oh, why are they not just writing it out?
I couldn't stand it. It's lazy, lazy writing, isn't it?
And then I got the same stuff with raw stuff anyway.
She always explain it once in the bit of text. That's what I've been told at work.
Yeah.
Then you can be lazy for the rest of the text.
Yeah.
As long as you've explained it somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What are you embracing in your decade? Let us know down in the comment section. Share this video, like this video. Should we do an emoji for this one?
I don't know.
If you've got to the end of this video and you would like to leave a comment but not sure what to put, let us know in the comments the type of things you like and how you're embracing your decade, your current decade, in emojis. So if it's cats, put cats. If it's knitting, put knitting. If it's painting, put paintbrush. If it's food, put food. If it's partying, drinks and dancing.
I was going to say something then, but
What? I'll just leave it.
I'll just leave it. It would have been too much on my mind.
Anyway, thank you. I'm intrigued now. I'll ask you once when we turn the camera off. Anyway.
I've gone. Remember Cash, yeah?
Cash, yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
With Peter Kay in it?
Yeah. She says when she used to walk a dog.
Oh, dogging.
Don't tell us if you like dogging.
Oh, don't you? Oh, no, I'm intrigued actually. That's something in Cash, yeah, with Peter Kay. Oh, we could write tangent with Peter Kay, couldn't we? I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm not sure what's going on with Peter Kay, mate, but that's for another video. Yeah.
You'll end up having to get the bloody tarot cards out.
I know. Well, I once did with Peter in private, not on a video, and it was like, oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's when you become a national treasure. And anyway, we're moving on.
We're moving on.
I think there was pressure there. I think there was.
Anyway, you're supposed to be moving on.
Let's move on. So yeah, we don't watch Peter Kay anymore. I just don't.
He doesn't do alt though, does he?
I think he's touring at the minute.
Yeah, but it's same old stuff, isn't it?
He's not the same Peter Kay I know. I know he's lost a lot of weight, but that's not got nothing to do with it. But there's just that sparkle that he had.
Yeah, it's the same gags though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same shit. We had it in the noughties, and it was funny in the noughties for the time. But now garlic bread, it's like.
I quite like garlic bread, but I can't eat it.
Do you know what I mean? It's the.
It's no good for gluten free garlic bread. It's not a joke anymore.
Yeah, true. And Uncle Nobed and all of that.
I'm sure he's got a few new gags, but
Potter. They were all funny for the time, but I think that with comedy anyway. I think that with comedy, that sometimes comedy can be funny for the time, but then you look back and you're like, we laughed in the 90s and the noughties.
Yeah, people still laughing now, but people like that stuff though, don't they? People like still going to watch Chubby Brown, don't they? You know what I mean? Even though he's 80s, 90s comic, you know what I mean?
I used to like Chubby Brown.
It was the same with Bernard Manning and people like that, you know what I mean? People like it for the times, you know what I mean? And sometimes we've gone on cruises and there's been a comic on and they're very old school.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give me a bit of Stuart Lee.
Yeah.
And I'll be fine.
Yeah. So I don't really do comics now. Comics. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you say, comedy's all around the time. You can watch some old comedies on the telly and it's like it's not funny anymore. Or you think, oh, I won't get away with that now.
I know.
You know what I mean? Interesting.
Anyway.
Right, we've tangented off enough.
Put your emojis in the comment section. Thank you.
Don't put any dogs.
Do you know, if someone's dog is their life now, you will,
I know. Put a dog if it's your life. Well, I don't know now. You're not going to be sure now, are you?
Right.
Put a cat.
Yeah.
Just pretend. Pretend it's a cat.
If it's a full-on dog emoji, we'll know it's a dog that you love. But if it's just a dog's head, that's for dogging. You know when you go on emojis on your phone, you can get full dogs.
Yeah, but people might not realise that, and then other people will look at the comment and think, "Good bloody hell, the doggers." You know what I mean? Just if you're gonna, just put what you want. You got too far now, haven't we?
Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. And we're getting closer to Vlogmas as well now, aren't we?
We are, yes.
We're going to be filming some of that soon.
Yep.
See you later.
So long.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.